1, 2, 3.
Ain't no going back, girl, from a former fat girl.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Hi, my name is Emerald Hill, and this is where I review what I eat in a day as a fat girl, as a former fat girl. As a former fat girl, I've lost over 100 pounds, so why don't we just dive right into it.
What I ate today as a baddie.
So we're starting out the day with some adorable pajamas, and as a baddie, with cereal.
Cereal for breakfast.
Fun fact, apparently the cereal in Canada is not as bright and vibrant as a cereal in America because Canada doesn't allow certain food coloring agents in cereal. So there's that, because I'm looking at the cereal and it's so beautiful and bright and vibrant. It's also kind of a big portion. I find that cereal is a waste of my time. Pretty much no protein in it, no real nutrition in it whatsoever. Maybe some eggs and some bacon or some kind of meat on the side would be really great. And then obviously like fruit is sort of a signature for breakfast. Everybody loves a little bit of vitamin C to start off their day. Kind of helps also fight off sickness and things like that now that we're sort of in the winter season. So get in your vitamin C.
Good morning, baddies.
Wow! And then we're going in with 2 sugar-free Red Bulls! Ooh! Wow! We must have had a rough night. What happened? Yeah, maybe those pajamas aren't as comfortable as we thought. Wow! And in some kind of blue thing. Some kind of like blue flavored, maybe blue raspberry or something like that. But wow! 2 sugar-free Red Bulls to start off of our morning. I prefer coffee.
Sugar-free, of course.
I gotta say, that's a really cute container. I love drinking out of containers like that. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with like blue slushies and things like that ever since I watched Juno. Totally missed the point of the story. All I saw was, I want to have blue slushies too.
I made a quesadilla with hot Cheetos and hot mac and cheese.
Wow, what a day we're having. Very interesting. So we needed a really big spike of caffeine in the morning, and now for a snack we're having hot Cheeto quesadilla. That's very interesting. I would have never thought of doing that. We're having a wild day today.
Hot.
I gotta tell you, I love cheese pulls. What is this? I'm gonna assume that was sour cream. I've never seen sour cream kind of I'm looking at the cheese pull here and I'm getting sucked into this. There's a euphemism in that. I was looking at the other creamy stuff and it looked really, really good. I have to say I am a fan of sour cream and cheese.
Olipop.
Olipop.
Red.
That's really cute. I really like that. So it's a pineapple Olipop with SpongeBob on it. I really want to try that. That looks really cute.
For dinner, I have some steak and some taters.
Wow, we're just going into that steak. I want to see the doneness on that steak. From the tear sound effects, I'm going to assume it's medium well. No, medium rare. That's what I meant to say. Medium rare! Ooh, that looks really good. Oh, and then we're having some kind of slider? Yeah, it looks like a slider.
SpongeBob.
Oh my god. Wow, what is happening? Yeah, we're having just like some kind of something happening. Sorry. Well, yeah, so I've never seen, this is what I wanted to say before I got distracted by the mashed potato falling on the pot. I've never seen mashed potatoes eaten like that. So there you go. I've never seen a steak eaten like that either. I mean, we did get takeaway, so maybe we don't have access to proper forks and knives wherever we're at, but
SpongeBob. Delicious.
wow, so we started off with a huge bowl of cereal. The only protein in that is probably going to come from the milk. That's why it's so important to weigh out your food, because you have no idea how small a real portion of cereal actually is. And then we had 2 sugar-free Red Bulls with some kind of probably blue raspberry sugar-free syrup or something like that. There's a lot of chemicals in that. Obviously, it's not going to affect your diet too much, but it's just going to make you feel really bad. And the whole point is to feel really good. Maybe try to stray away from 2 full Red Bulls right off of the hop. Then we moved into hot Cheeto quesadilla. And that's really interesting because like, Obviously, that's a really interesting flavor profile. Again, the only protein in there is coming from the dairy, the cheese, and then we have carbs on carbs with flatbread and then the hot Cheetos. I'm thinking like maybe onion or green pepper could have been added to that to make it more filling. Cut out pieces of sliced chicken, deli meat or something like that. Not that great of an option, but certainly a very tasty, interesting experiment. And then we obviously had sour cream on it too, so probably a tiny itty bitty bit of protein came from that. We had an Olipop, and I'm not really sure what is in an Olipop, and I'm not willing to look it up because I'm on a roll right now. But I'm gonna kind of assume that it's actually sparkling water. We actually moved on to having steak, which is really fantastic. Steak is always fantastic. Mashed potatoes, which look like it came from a restaurant, so there might be mayonnaise in there or something like that. Or cream. There's definitely cheese in that, so it's probably higher on the caloric end. Probably sour cream in that too, I'm looking. So double sour cream today. And then we're having some kind of slider. Today was okay. I think that she probably got in a ton of protein, which is awesome. It's just that we didn't have any fruit, any vegetables at all, which is always very important for keeping your digestive system flowing the way that you want it to be. Other than that, today was what it was, and I hope that she enjoyed it.
What I eat in a day as a 24-year-old fruit and veg dodger. It seems that a lot of people do not like.
So admittedly, we try to avoid fruit and veg. Once again, we're starting off with, I think that's a full sugar Red Bull.
Like that I do not like fruit and veg. I know it's not normal to not like fruit and veg. The last What I Eat in a Day video that I posted, I had a lot of people commenting saying that I had ARFID. I've never heard of ARFID in my life. I have looked it up and
I actually heard of that as well for the first time in my last video that somebody pointed out.
I could potentially have that. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people on this app don't like to see what other people eat, especially if you don't have a perfect balanced diet. This is just realistic to what I eat in a day, and I can guarantee.
You know, I feel like what I eat in a day is always controversial, whether you're doing a good job or a controversial job, if you will. So we're starting off with canned SpaghettiOs.
I can guarantee you'll probably find a lot more people who don't eat fruit and veg or very little of it. People do just love to hate whatever you do. On that same video.
Yeah, see, there you go. People just love to hate whatever you do. So we're starting off with a can of SpaghettiOs and then 2 slices of buttered white bread. I'm going to assume that what she mentioned before, she only likes more plain food that doesn't have much of a flavor profile other than kind of sugary. When I'm looking at that can of SpaghettiOs, a part of me is grossed out because I know exactly what it tastes like. It tastes like mushy sugar, tomatoey sauce stuff. But the other part of me is actually craving it because when I was a kid, I used to love it because when you're a kid, you just love sugary, soft, kind of tomatoey, mostly sugary. My mouth is watering even as I'm talking about it, even though I know that I don't actually like it anymore. But the back of my brain is like, yeah, but we could potentially get some and try it. Fighting the urge.
Yeah, I also got so many people commenting, giving me suggestions to try it, and I definitely will be trying them. This morning, just like every other morning, I didn't have breakfast. Did make myself
Oh, actually, what I meant to say at the end of that tangent was that that's why it's so important when you're raising your kids to not really let them try that often, like Oreos and processed foods and like takeaways and stuff like that, or SpaghettiOs, because it's the nostalgia that keeps that craving happening in the back of your mind. Even though as an adult, you know, this doesn't suit my palate anymore. I don't like this anymore. Why did I even like this in the first place to begin with? But because you have that nostalgic feeling, you just keep wanting to go back to it. Just like the movies that you watch now that you're like, wow, the CGI isn't that good, but I'm still gonna watch it over and over again because this is something that was such a staple in my childhood. And then you show it to someone who didn't watch it in their childhood and they're sitting there like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Do you want me to pause it for you? No. They're gonna say that. They're gonna say no and it's gonna suck. That's what's happening with the nostalgic SpaghettiOs.
Cheeky little iced coffee, and that was beautiful. For lunch, I had one of my all-time favourite lunches, which is spaghetti on toast.
She started off the day with a Red Bull, and then she had a nice coffee, and now she's having her SpaghettiOs.
I ate this in peace, but I really didn't because I have a toddler. We both had the same lunch.
Hence why we needed the coffee and the Red Bull. Toddler time.
Lunch, but she decided she wanted mine and not hers, so I probably ate about half of what was actually in my bowl. We did absolutely nothing today. We had such a lazy day, and that is why I am still in my pyjamas at midday. My boyfriend treated me to a Red Bull, which was honestly so needed for today because I just...
Oh, my mistake. So she started the day with a Red Bull. Oh my god. She started the day with an iced coffee, but she represented the whole video with a little Red Bull clip, which I hate when they do that because I get confused and mess up my own video, but maybe they do it on purpose as to make me look like a fool. Oh, fine, fair enough. I do. I am a fool. Now we've moved on to a Red Bull, which is actually a treat.
I just felt knackered all day. I don't want to hear anybody in the comments telling me how bad Red Bull is. I know how bad it is, and I still don't care because it's just so bloody good. I wish it did give me wings so I could fly away from all the crap that's going on in my life right now, but we have to just live through it. I was hungry again at about 3 o'clock, so I did have a little snack plate. Sauce with barbecue sauce.
Something that people fall into is like the easiest, tastiest foods that you can just reach for. She had like, what is it? Maybe she threw those into the oven, but they're very convenient and they taste amazing because they're very fatty. Sausage rolls there, and then we have a couple probably like chicken popcorn bites, and then an Arrow probably tub of pudding, and then obviously sauce. And that's really easy to put together, but it also has no really good nutritional value to it. It's mostly just sugar and then carbs and then fat.
I did have a little snack plate. Sauce with barbecue sauce. Oh my god, I could literally live off this for the rest of my life. If you've never...
I know, it's so good, but it's so just paste. Like really it's just made of paste, and that's what it's gonna turn into. And like in my head and I can feel it in my body. I'm like, oh my god, I know what it feels like to digest this stuff. And even though, like, I want to say I'm not perfect, I still binge eat sometimes, and it's mostly on this stuff, and that's why I poop on it so much, and why I comment on it so much is because this is exactly the stuff that, nostalgic-wise, I'm addicted to. I love this stuff, but it's exactly the stuff that keeps me in the place that I don't really want to be anymore, and I know that it also keeps people in a place where you're just like, this is just where I'm gonna be, and I'm not gonna be able to do anything about it. So don't be a slave to the sausage roll. Break away from it. Force yourself to eat the cucumber.
New sausage roll in barbecue sauce. Please try it and let me know, because I actually think it's the best thing in the world. Such a good combo. I was having tea by myself tonight and I was so unsure on what to have. I was craving this spinach and ricotta pasta, but it was kind of giving me the ick at the same time. Does anybody else get that feeling where certain foods give them the ick? And
well, it makes sense because you don't like green stuff, and there's green in it and you can kind of see through it. That's a really good idea, to kind of try to sneak in some kind of greenery, some kind of nutrition in there. You know, a lot of the stuff that we've had today is pretty much carbohydrates, right? This is actually the second portion of pasta we've had today. Although this one did not come out of a can. We also have a little bit of a French loaf, which is, you know, obviously very tasty. I feel kind of bad nitpicking this person, specifically because probably really struggle with being able to get in greens and fruits and, you know, maybe even protein and stuff like that.
I feel all fucking weird and funny. I have had this pasta before and I really did enjoy it, so I knew I was going to like it. I don't know what was wrong with me. Can't have pasta without a little bit of garlic bread as well. And then I did have a little snacky snack in bed.
So then we moved on to a little snacky snack, which are salt and vinegar sticks. Very interesting. Everybody loves salt and vinegar. I love salt and vinegar. The only thing is that, again, all of the things that we ate today are pretty much the same color, which is beige. And so what would have been really great here is just obviously something fresh. But other than that, like, there's nothing that you can really say that's good about this kind of day, because everything was kind of like the same ingredients over and over and over again.
This is what I eat in a day as an overweight, autistic female American with blue eyes and no makeup, and I am 5 feet and 6 inches.
Nice to meet ya.
Yeah.
That was really funny.
Starting off the day, we got some dark red kidney beans. I don't know the difference between light and red, but I washed.
Wow, nice. So it looks like we're starting off the day with a whole thing of kidney beans. 1 second, I don't know if I have kidney beans. Let me look it up. I don't want to. I know that kidney beans have a lot of protein in them. That's what I'm gonna say.
But I washed them and added Italian dressing and some cheese.
Nice. Wow, that is quick and easy. Red beans, Italian, salad dressing, and then some cheese. Way to go.
This is one of my favorite breakfasts, and I think it's very yummy and healthy. And then I had a Chobani yogurt drink.
Oh, so she had a Chobani drink. Now she's making some kind of smoothie. So I know that Chobani is actually some kind of like yogurt protein thing now. So I guess it's kind of like a good thing for you.
Drinking. And then a few hours later, I'm like, I want a real smoothie. So I'm making my real smoothie with some yogurt. This is the yogurt I used.
Great. Greek yogurt is really good for you. Now we're adding juice. Not such a great choice, just because juice is pretty much just sugar. 2 bananas, probably a full portion of Greek yogurt, and then some orange peach mango juice.
Some frozen blueberries. more frozen blueberries, some frozen raspberries, and look how thick and beautiful that is. So I'm filling up my cup. I put the rest of it in the freezer, and I drank my whole smoothie.
Smoothies are okay. The only thing is really stood out to me was that smoothie was super diluted with a lot of fruit, and there was the juice in there. I think what's really good about smoothies is that it can be high protein, and even if you don't want to add protein powder, it can be high protein with just the Greek yogurt protein. I think that there was kind of like a lot of fruit in there, and I think that the juice could have definitely been switched out for something else, because juice has just a ton of sugar, and you know, that's a lot of added calories that you really don't need. And then she split it up and some of it went into the freezer, so she did not have the full protein hit of the Greek yogurt because a lot of it probably went into the freezer.
I wanted a haichu, so this is a banana flavored haichu.
I don't know what that is. I don't like banana flavored stuff, so that gets a gross. Gross!
Then for dinner, I had 4 gluten-free chicken strips with some duck sauce.
Nice. Chicken strips are really great. Whenever I go out, I love like chicken sandwiches, but I've actually come to be more like, okay, I'm gonna get chicken strips with like a side salad. I never get a side salad. Chicken strips with fries, but at least I'm not having like, you know, chicken strips on a bun, right? It's just the chicken strips with a side of fries. I try to share my fries. Never mind, I don't ever share my fries. I don't know what I'm talking about.
And this was very yummy, and I ate the whole thing.
Nice. Anything else? Nope. So that was a really interesting day. So to start the day, we had our very interesting beans, Italian seasoning, and cheese. Very high protein, lots of fiber in there. That's a really great way to start off of your day. And then we had a strawberry banana Greek smoothie. I don't know how much sugar there is in there. I'm not really willing to look it up, but that's probably a good portion size for that amount of smoothie. But then we moved on to making another smoothie. But this time it had added sugar in the form of juice and like a lot of different kinds of fruit in it, which is fine. It's just that we didn't actually get a big hit of the protein, which is the reason why I drink smoothies. So if that's not the reason she drinks smoothies, then whatever, good for you. Awesome, that's awesome for you. And then we moved on to having a little treat, a little snacky snack, and then chicken fingers for dinner. Chicken fingers, those form especially, aren't really that high in protein. They're an okay option if you really like chicken. I wouldn't recommend them. I would recommend like real chicken strips and get rid of that breaded part. Other than that, it was a very interesting day. I think that the only thing that maybe is kind of like holding back is just like the sauce and the chicken strips, the smoothies. If it's working for you, why fix it?
Hi friends, this is what I eat in a day as a fat person who does not want to lose weight and is eating whatever sounds good.
Nice. Hello, welcome to my channel.
Today I started my morning with some coffee. I always do.
I also have some coffee. I completely forgot the fact that I usually drink water through my videos. I'm drinking coffee with you now. Energy.
Smoothie bowl for breakfast.
So we're having a smoothie bowl for breakfast. It could be blueberry smoothie bowl. It kind of looks like an acai smoothie bowl. The only thing that I would say about smoothie bowls is that kind of mostly carbs. Unless you make them with Greek yogurt and protein powder, usually there isn't that much protein in them. Sugar in the form of fruit, that's really fine. Obviously, we have some granola there. There's added sugar in granola, and then there's honey on top, which is another kind of form of sugar. So it's gonna have like a really big sugar spike at the very beginning of the day, which in turn will cause a very low like sugar drop in a couple hours.
A smoothie bowl for breakfast. I drank lots of water today since I worked out.
Oh, we're working out, we're drinking water. Good for you. You're ahead of me so far. I haven't worked out in a couple of days, but I am on track. This is going to be my 5th week of consistent working out, and I'm very excited about it.
And I had an afternoon snack of bagel, cream cheese, and grapes.
Bagels and cream cheese is my favorite. We're having bagel and cream cheese and a few grapes.
Cream cheese and grapes for dinner.
Now we're having some Chinese takeaway, a very big portion of rice, some sweet sauce, and then I think that looks like some kind of deep fried chicken. and then we have spring rolls on the side.
I ordered some Chinese takeout, which was so good, and I ended my night with a cupcake.
Generally, we did have a really good day at the beginning of the day. If we continued the day making homemade food and really prioritizing fresh things like fruit and vegetables and having your own protein in there, it would have been a really great day, because we started the day with like a really high sugar spike, and then we moved on to having a bit more carbs and cream cheese, nothing to scream about, with some fruit that's really great. But then at the end of the day, we had probably 3 portions of rice, quite a bit of fried chicken, sweet sauce on top of that, and 2 spring rolls. There could be a lot of adjustments made to make this, just a little bit better to get to whatever goals that you're looking for. And obviously you're not looking to lose weight, but maybe even just like digestive wise, get the beginning of the day having more protein to just keep you fuller throughout the day. Maybe for like the snack, I think is really, really great actually, because you have fresh fruit there again. It's just for dinner, maybe instead of having that much chicken and rice, cutting that in half, placing that half with like sauteed vegetables or something like that. You actually got a little fortune. Many receive advice, only the wise profit by it. We ended the day with a cupcake. I'm not gonna poop on the cupcake. I feel like everybody has a cupcake every once in a while. If you just kind of made everything else homemade, like really just that dinner homemade, and then sort of just like watch the portions, obviously it's not that big of a deal. So I hope you enjoyed everything about your day and your cupcake. And yes, the Chinese food did look really good. Everybody craves Chinese food, including me. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. Please drop a like, maybe a comment, subscribe. My name is Emerald Tail, and I hope to see you again. Bye for now.